What's up, fellow Jeepers? Gonna swap out my Dana 35 for a Dana 44A today. See how it goes. Well, this is it. 2000 Jeep Grand Cherokee. Gonna be doing a little work on it today in the garage about 7:30 a.m. Got her all lined up. The Dana 35 has been howling real bad. I've been kind of doing some long-term damage to my hearing as of late and been getting kind of sick of it, so I picked up a Dana 44A from the local junkyard for $200, 110,000 miles on it, so it should be good to go. Just kind of want to document it, keep everybody in the loop in case someone's thinking about doing the same thing for themselves. Yeah, hope you enjoy. Alright, just an update. Got the tires off, working with the spacers too. Huge plus, I got my bro Ryan working on the diff for me. Check that bad boy out. Oh, it looks good. Oh, look at that beef, you know what I'm saying? Always get help when doing the heavy lifting, you know what I'm saying? Yeah, here's a quick update. Just stripping everything off the axle, sway bar, shocks, all that good stuff. Drive shaft is next. See how that goes. Rye's still working on the axle over there. Should be done in no time. Right, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah, so right here it looks like me and Ryan are working on our brakes. Trying to get to that emergency brake cover. You gotta remove the rotor and the caliper first to get to it. Yeah, so here I got the rotor on backwards. Looks like we already got the caliper off, and put the rotor on backwards, use a rubber mallet, tap it towards me, and then I can pull the axle shaft out. You know, it helps me get access to those e-brake shields. Yep, right here, looks like we already got the axle shaft pulled out, e-brakes off. Now we're just trying to get that lower control arm mount off with everything else already removed, like sway bar, brakes, shocks, all the good stuff. It's already taken off. Just work on those last couple bolts. Well, bam! Little TV mat for you. Axle's pulled out, no problem. Only took a couple minutes, right? Nah, it took much longer than that. These things always take longer than you'd expect them to. You know this. You worked on Jeeps before. Yeah, remove the springs. To get the axle out, I recommend removing your e-brake cables from your A-arm. Remove the A-arm with 2 bolts at the frame or the unibody, and pull the whole axle out before you even try messing with those 21mm bolts on the top of the pumpkin. Just a real pain in the ass to try to do that under the gas tank. Once you get the axle out, remove those 21mm bolts and swap the A-arm over to your Dana 44. It's easier to do it once it's out from underneath the car. Yeah, so at this point the 44 is ready to go in. We're trying to get rid of those bent up, e-brake housings off. It requires us to slide the axles out of the Dana 44. Kind of use the same method as before. Use the rotor, put it on backwards, lug nuts, rubber mallet, tap it out. Should be no big deal. Ours were kind of bent, in bad shape out from the junkyard, so we had to tap them off using that mallet. Yep, go from there. Yeah, and there you have it. There's a Dana 44 slammed up underneath my Jeep. Yeah, I'm gonna be real honest. I did a terrible job documenting this for you guys. Just an update. Yeah, the Jeep handles and sounds much quieter than it did before. The axle's everything I want it to be, especially for the price. I also have a little recap video on what I did to make it a little better. But yeah, I'll end this video with a little update on some tying up things and maybe a little off-road rip sesh, you know what I'm saying? Hey, just an update for you fellow WJers out there. As you know, I went with the Quadra Drive limited slip rear end, and I drove it around. I read you're supposed to add an additive or something like that. Drove it around for a couple weeks. Kind of found out what the people on the forums are talking about. I do a U-turn and you start hearing some like binding or some like wheel hop or something in the back end, and you could tell the limited slip was engaging when it shouldn't. So I went ahead and bought some of this limited slip Mopar additive. It's supposed to keep it from doing that. I guess you're supposed to add 4 ounces, so one container is 4 ounces. Just dumped it in the rear end, so we'll see how that goes. Should quiet it down. And here's a little off-road action for you guys before we wrap this up. Hope you like it. Enjoy.